She was 18, old enough to be someone's wife, and she had her sights on Ezra Drexel. Her voice was sensual, but sweet. "Hello," she whispered as she gracefully lowered herself next to him. He was still sitting on the banks of the lagoon, nursing his injured shoulder. Looking away was wise, and he shook his head. It was Moz who intervened. He turned to Talia.
"Meet my brother, Ezra,"
he said with a half-smile.
"A good woman is waiting for him back in Jericho Bay, and I intend to make sure he doesn't screw that up. Not that you could,"
he added, shooting Ez a pointed look with raised eyebrows. Ezra smiled, but as he hung his head, he noticed the small tattoos of Roman numerals on Talia's arms. He knew what those meant.
"I'm sorry,"
he murmured. A single teardrop, then a second trickled down her face. She rose slowly. Letting her skirt cover her legs, Talia walked toward the shelter of willow trees. Moz shook his head.
"Come on, Ez. We've got work to do."
"I'm surprised she zeroed in on me,"
Ezra said.
"Usually, you're the endgame. You are the standard hero. You know? Rescuer, savior, brave, rich, and slightly good-looking."
He laughed. Moz cleared his throat.
"Ah, yes, that seems to be my burden."
He joked about it, but the truth was, it was a burden. The young women he rescued often brought trouble. Some didn't trust him. Others resented being pulled from the only life they'd ever known. And many of them, confusing gratitude with longing, wanted him. That's why he started every morning on his knees. Prayer was his anchor. His men teased him, saying the Bible might as well be sewn into his skin. Moz would nod, unfazed. He was proud of that. Every woman and child received a small Bible, clean clothes, and a care package, carefully packed into a donated backpack. Another problem for Moz to juggle. Keeping the Guardians, including him and Ezra, at a respectful distance. They were men, after all. And even though there were clean shower rooms available, the women preferred bathing beneath the waterfalls. It had been 4 weeks since Ezra and Moz left Jericho Bay, 2 weeks longer than they had anticipated.
Ez should be resting.
The doctor told Moz.
We managed to extract the bullet and tiny bone shards, but infection is possible.
But staying was no longer an option. More people applied to cross the border wall and remained in hiding, waiting for Moz's return. So, at midnight, Guardians packed their gear, loaded up the trucks, and headed out of the caves they had called home for a month.
"Ez, you ready?"
Moz ruffled his brother's hair.
"The women and children are secured. We need to go now, while temperatures are in the low 80s.
Ezra stumbled off his cot, fumbled with his clothes, and moaned.
"You can stay another week. Your doctor prefers it."
"Nah, I need to get home."
Ez crawled into the nearest truck. A young Guardian tossed Ezra's gear nearby, at Talia's feet, and jumped in behind him. Ezra winced, shoulder clutched tight. He was out of breath, still refusing any painkillers. 2 hours into their journey back to Jericho Bay, Ezra raised his head. The pain in his shoulder neared unbearable. Talia was leaning up against it, fast asleep. He bore the pain and covered her with his jacket, but not before he caught a glimpse of the name tattooed on her wrist.
"It can't be."
Stroking a few stubborn hairs from her face, he kissed the top of her head.
"I'm so sorry,"
he said, clearing his throat when he realized the young Guardian was watching. Ezra held out his good hand and introduced himself.
"Ez,"
he said. The Guardian seemed hesitant, but shook Ezra's hand.
Raphael.
It was all he said.
"He's just a kid,"
Ezra thought. The young Guardian was their contact across the border, guiding these women and children towards safety. To them. Probably trafficked himself at one point. Now helping Moz and his Guardians, perhaps looking to see if all the stories were true. The sons of Tansalor with their Guardians and Rangers living in Jericho Bay are good men, the young Guardian was told. They're different. They help people. Ezra was aware of the reputation he and Moz had to uphold. It was tiresome at times. He wanted to let the world know they were human. They had made mistakes, horrible mistakes. Raphael's gaze bothered Ezra, but instead of looking away, he asked.
Change places?
The young guardian nodded yes. When the river widened, the driver slowed down. A small natural dam redirected the river. It meandered to the west. Moz gave the command to stop all vehicles.
This is good.
He said.
Another oasis.
Ezra knew this was important to Moz. This was something he wanted to show the women and children.
Beavers!
Moz proclaimed loudly. The women and children laughed.
We had this crazy idea.
Moz began his story as everyone looked out of the truck.
What can a small colony of beavers do if we leave them here beside the narrow river?
He looked around to see if they were paying attention.
Will they quietly shape this barren land into that? A living, breathing oasis.
Moz squinted into the moonlight while pointing to a large, glistening pool of water.
It's smaller than Elim, but the beavers are working on that.
The children were wide-eyed. Moz picked up one of the boys, the one who always cowered in a corner and never spoke a word until Moz worked his magic. Can we live here, Moz? The boy asked as a cool breeze ruffled his dark brown hair. The big man chuckled.
It's even better in Jericho Bay, son. Just, you wait.
Ezra had quietly slipped out of the truck and made his way to the cottonwoods. He groaned. Crawling to a patch of tall green grass, he closed his eyes and curled into a fetal position. Moz and the young guardian came to his side.
Let me clean up your wound and get you new bandages.
Moz frowned, but worked quickly.
Just, please leave me here.
Ezra whispered.
I'll be okay.
Moz blew out a deep breath as he discarded the blood-soaked gauze.
That's not going to happen, brother.
I can't even move. I can hardly breathe.
Moz took a few seconds to clear his head.
Raphael, can you get me the painkillers?
Ezra sighed.
Go, please.
He said.
Just leave the girl with me.
I think you're hallucinating, little brother. I'm not leaving Talia alone with you.
You'll just have to trust me. She can't go to Jericho Bay. Take a look at the tattoo on her wrist.
Moz held his brother.
What on earth are you talking about?
Then, out of the corner of his eye, he caught the young guardian slowly shaking his head as he gathered his things.
I'll stay with them.
Raphael said softly, almost to himself, still shaking his head.
Who is Talia? Should Maz take her to Jericho Bay where she can start a new life? Or trust Ezra? Thanks for reading along with us. We'll see you in the next episode of Secrets of Jericho Bay.